Have you ever stopped to wonder, am I doing everything I can to protect my financial future? Well, my wise friends, this is your wake-up call. Today, we'll explore 5 financial moves every senior must make to secure their future. Whether you're 60 or 85, these tips are crucial to your peace of mind. And guess what? By the end of this video, you'll not only feel more confident, but might even share these gems with your loved ones. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive into these life-changing strategies. Segment 1. Reviewing and updating your budget. Let's start with something foundational. Reviewing and updating your budget. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, I've done this before, let me assure you it's not a one-and-done task. A budget is like a living, breathing guide for your financial life. It changes as your circumstances change. Think about it. Maybe a few years ago, you spent more commuting to work or eating out regularly. Now, your priorities have shifted. Perhaps you're spending more on healthcare or indulging in hobbies you didn't have time for before. That's why revisiting your budget is crucial. It ensures your money aligns with your current lifestyle and goals. Start by breaking your expenses into 2 categories, fixed and variable. Fixed expenses are the essentials: housing, utilities, insurance, and any recurring bills. These are the non-negotiables. Variable expenses, on the other hand, are more flexible. Things like groceries, dining out, entertainment, or shopping. Take a good, hard look at your spending patterns. Are there areas where you could cut back without sacrificing your quality of life? For example, are you still paying for subscriptions you no longer use? Maybe it's that streaming service you forgot about, or a gym membership you haven't used in months. Canceling those small expenses can free up money for things that truly matter to you. Here's an idea. Create a fun fund. Yes, you heard me right. A fun fund. Life isn't just about paying bills and saving for emergencies. It's about enjoying the journey. Allocate a portion of your budget specifically for activities or purchases that bring you joy. Maybe it's a monthly dinner with friends, a weekend getaway, or supplies for your favorite hobby. And don't forget to factor in irregular expenses. These are the ones that sneak up on you: holiday gifts, birthday celebrations, or home repairs. Set aside a small amount each month for these occasions so you're not caught off guard when they arise. Now, let's talk about tracking your spending. You don't need anything fancy. A simple notebook, a spreadsheet, or even a budgeting apps can work wonders. Write down every dollar you spend for a month. It's an eye-opener. You might discover that those daily coffee runs or impulse purchases are adding up more than you realized. Once you have a clear picture of your expenses, you can start setting realistic financial goals. Do you want to travel more? Save for a grandchild's education? Or maybe just have a little extra cushion for peace of mind? Whatever it is, your budget is the tool that will help you get there. But here's the key. Budgets aren't set in stone. Life changes, and your budget should too. Revisit it every few months to make adjustments as needed. Maybe you've paid off a debt and can now redirect those funds elsewhere. Or perhaps your medical expenses have increased, requiring a shift in priorities. And here's a pro tip. Involve your partner or family members in the budgeting process. Having open conversations about money can strengthen relationships and ensure everyone is on the same page. Remember, budgeting isn't about deprivation. It's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your finances so you can live the life you deserve. So, what's stopping you? Grab a pen and paper and start crafting a budget that reflects your values, needs, and dreams. Segment 2. Downsizing and simplifying your lifestyle. For some, it's exciting to think about simplifying life, but for others, it feels like letting go of memories and comfort. Here's the truth. Downsizing isn't about giving up. It's about gaining freedom. Freedom from unnecessary stress, clutter, and expenses. It's about shaping your environment to fit your current lifestyle. Think about your current living space. Is it bigger than you need? Maybe you raised your family in a house with 4 bedrooms and a big backyard. but now those rooms sit empty most of the time. The maintenance, the cleaning, and the costs of utilities can start to feel overwhelming. Downsizing can be the perfect way to reclaim your energy and finances. But let's take it step by step. Downsizing doesn't mean packing everything up tomorrow. It starts with a mindset shift. Ask yourself, what do I really need to live comfortably and happily? Begin by decluttering one small area, a closet, a drawer, or a shelf. Sort items into 3 categories: keep, donate, or discard. This process might bring up memories, and that's okay. Allow yourself to reminisce, but also remind yourself that the memories live in your heart, not in the items themselves. Here's a tip. If you're finding it hard to let go of certain things, take a photo of them. For instance, that vase you've had for decades may hold sentimental value, but if it's just collecting dust, a photo can preserve the memory without taking up physical space. Now, let's address one of the biggest hurdles: letting go of a home. It's natural to feel attached to the place where you built so many memories, but downsizing doesn't mean downgrading. In fact, it's an opportunity to upgrade your life. Think about moving to a smaller, more manageable home, or even a community designed for seniors. These places often offer amenities like maintenance services, social activities, and healthcare access, making life simpler and more enjoyable. And here's the financial upside. Selling a larger home can free up equity. That extra cash can go toward boosting your retirement savings, funding travel adventures, or simply giving you more financial security. But wait, downsizing isn't just about homes. It's about simplifying your entire lifestyle. Look at your car. Do you really need that big SUV? Or would a smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicle be a better fit? What about your wardrobe? Are there clothes you haven't worn in years? Let them go. One thing many people don't realize is how much emotional weight clutter carries. Have you ever walked into a cluttered room and felt a sense of overwhelm? Now imagine walking into a space that's clean, organized, and filled only with things you love and use. That's the beauty of simplifying. Let's not forget the environmental benefits. Downsizing and decluttering often lead to more mindful consumption. You'll buy less, waste less, and live in a way that's gentler on the planet. Another aspect of downsizing is prioritizing your time and energy. For example, maintaining a large yard might have been enjoyable when you were younger, but now it might feel like a chore. By moving to a home with a smaller yard or no yard at all, you can free up time to focus on hobbies, relationships, or relaxation. But here's an important note. Downsizing is a personal journey. What works for one person might not work for another. Some people thrive in a minimalist environment, while others prefer to keep a few more sentimental items around. The goal isn't to fit into a specific mold, but to create a life that feels right for you. Let's talk about the social aspect. Moving into a smaller home or a retirement community can also bring you closer to people. It's an opportunity to build new connections and strengthen existing ones. Imagine being surrounded by neighbors who are in the same stage of life, sharing stories, and creating new memories. One of the most rewarding parts of downsizing is the sense of accomplishment it brings. As you let go of the excess, you'll start to feel lighter, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. You'll realize that you don't need as much as you thought to live a fulfilling life. And here's the kicker. Downsizing doesn't have to mean parting with everything you love. Keep the items that truly bring you joy and serve a purpose. That antique chair you love to sit in, keep it. The photo albums that tell the story of your life, absolutely keep them. Downsizing is about keeping what matters most and letting go of the rest. Now let's talk logistics. If you're considering a move, start by researching options that fit your needs and budget. Visit potential new homes or communities to get a feel for the space. Talk to others who've downsized to hear about their experiences. And don't rush the process. Take your time to make thoughtful decisions. Finally, involve your family in the journey. They might have insights or even want to keep some of the items you're letting go of. It's also an opportunity to share stories and memories attached to those items, making the process more meaningful. In the end, downsizing is about more than just stuff. It's about creating a life that's easier, more enjoyable, and aligned with your current needs. So take that first step, no matter how small. You might just find that less really is more. Segment 3. Strengthening your emergency fund. If there's one financial move every senior should prioritize, it's this one. Why? Because life is unpredictable, and having a financial safety net can turn a potential crisis into just a bump in the road. An emergency fund is your financial armor. It's the money you set aside specifically for those unexpected moments. Medical emergencies, sudden home repairs, or even helping a family member in need. And let's face it, in your golden years, these surprises tend to pop up a bit more often. So, how much should you save? The rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of essential expenses in your emergency fund. But if you're retired and living on a fixed income, aiming for closer to 6 months or even a year is ideal. It's better to err on the side of caution, especially if your income isn't as flexible as it once was. Step 1. Assessing your monthly expenses. Before you can set a target for your emergency fund, you need to know your monthly expenses. Take a detailed look at your budget. How much do you spend on housing, utilities, food, transportation, healthcare, and other essentials? Don't include discretionary expenses like travel or entertainment in this calculation. Focus only on the basics. Let's say your essential expenses add up to $2,500 a month. That means a 6-month emergency fund would be $15,000. It might sound like a lot, but don't let that intimidate you. Building your fund is a marathon, not a sprint. Step 2. Starting small and staying consistent. If you don't already have an emergency fund, start small. Even $10 or $20 set aside each week can add up over time. The key is consistency. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a dedicated savings account. Treat it like any other bill you have to pay. It's non-negotiable. Consider this. If you save $50 a week, you'll have $2,600 in a year. And if you're able to save $100 a week, that's $5,200 in a year. It's all about taking that first step and committing to it. Step 3. Finding extra money to save. You might be wondering, where do I find the money to save? Start by looking for small adjustments you can make in your spending. Maybe it's cutting back on dining out, canceling a subscription you rarely use, or shopping smarter for groceries. Another idea is to use windfalls or unexpected income to boost your emergency fund. Did you get a tax refund? A birthday gift? A small inheritance? Instead of spending it right away, add it to your fund. If you've downsized your home or sold belongings you no longer need, consider putting a portion of that money into your emergency savings. Remember, every little bit helps. Step 4. Choosing the right place to keep your emergency fund. Now, where should you keep this money? The key is to choose a safe, accessible place. A high-yield savings account is an excellent option. It keeps your money separate from your regular spending account, earns some interest, and is easy to access when needed. Avoid putting your emergency fund in investments like stocks or mutual funds. While they might offer higher returns, they also come with risks, and the last thing you want is to lose your safety net due to market fluctuations. Step 5. Protecting your emergency fund from temptation. Here's an important point. Your emergency fund is not a vacation fund, a gift fund, or a treat-yourself fund. It's for true emergencies only. To avoid temptation, consider naming the account something like Safety Net or Peace of Mind Fund as a reminder of its purpose. If you find it challenging to resist dipping into the fund, you could open the account at a different bank than your regular checking account. Out of sight, out of mind. Step 6. Knowing when to use your emergency fund. So, when should you tap into this fund? The answer is simple: only for genuine emergencies. Think unexpected medical bills, urgent home repairs, or necessary car fixes. If you're unsure whether an expense qualifies as an emergency, ask yourself, is this expense urgent and unavoidable? Can I cover it with my regular budget? Will delaying this expense cause bigger problems down the road? If the answer to the first question is yes, and the last two are no, then it's likely an emergency. Step 7. Rebuilding your fund after an emergency. Using your emergency fund isn't the end of the world. It's what it's there for. But once you dip into it, make it a priority to rebuild. Go back to your savings routine and add a little extra if possible to replenish what you used. Let's take a moment to talk about the peace of mind that comes with having a solid emergency fund. It's more than just financial security. It's emotional security. Imagine this. Your water heater suddenly breaks down in the middle of winter. Without an emergency fund, you'd be scrambling to figure out how to pay for the repair, stressing over credit card bills or borrowing money. But with an emergency fund, you make the call, get it fixed, and move on with your life. Or think about unexpected medical expenses. Knowing you have the money to cover deductibles or out-of-pocket costs can significantly reduce stress during an already difficult time. One thing to keep in mind is that the cost of living increases over time. If you haven't reviewed your emergency fund target in a few years, now is the time to do it. Adjust for inflation and any changes in your expenses. If you're part of a close-knit family, consider discussing your emergency fund plans with them. While you don't need to share every detail, letting them know you're preparing for unexpected expenses can spark valuable conversations about financial planning. Building and maintaining an emergency fund is one of the most empowering financial moves you can make. It's not just about money, it's about peace of mind, independence, and resilience. Start where you are with what you have, and remember, every dollar you save is a step toward greater security. So, what will you do today to strengthen your emergency fund? Segment 4. Reviewing and optimizing insurance policies. Insurance, it's one of those things we don't like to think about until we need it. But here's the thing. Taking the time to review and optimize your insurance policies now can save you thousands of dollars in the long run, and more importantly, ensure you're fully protected when life throws a curveball. Let's start with why this step is so important, especially for seniors. As we age, our needs and priorities shift. The insurance policy that suited you in your 40s or 50s might no longer align with your current lifestyle or health needs. For example, you may have been paying for coverage you no longer need, or worse, not have enough coverage for something that's become a bigger priority. The good news is, a review doesn't have to be overwhelming. With a little bit of effort, you can optimize your policies to better fit your life today. Step 1. Health insurance, your foundation of security. Let's begin with health insurance because, let's face it, healthcare is one of the most significant expenses for seniors. If you're over 65 and living in the U.S., you're likely enrolled in Medicare. But here's the question, are you in the right Medicare plan? Medicare comes in different parts. Part A covers hospital stays. Part B covers doctor visits and outpatient care. Part D covers prescription drugs. And then there are Medicare Advantage plans, Part C, which bundle these services and often include additional benefits like vision, dental, and hearing coverage. Every year, Medicare allows an open enrollment period where you can switch plans. Use this opportunity to compare your current plan with others. Are you paying too much for premiums? Are your prescription medications covered at the lowest possible cost? Tools like the Medicare Plan Finder can help you evaluate your options. If you have supplemental insurance, Medigap, review it too. Is it still providing value for its cost? Sometimes switching to a different Medigap plan or Medicare Advantage plan can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Here's a tip. Don't just look at premiums. Check for potential out-of-pocket expenses like copays and deductibles. Sometimes a plan with a slightly higher premium can save you money overall, by offering lower out-of-pocket costs. Step 2. Life insurance. Do you still need it? Life insurance is another policy that deserves a close look. Ask yourself, do I still need life insurance? If yes, is my current policy serving my needs? If you've paid off your mortgage, your kids are financially independent, and you've built a solid retirement nest egg, you might not need as much life insurance as you did in the past. In fact, you might not need it at all. However, if you want to leave a financial legacy for your loved ones or cover potential estate taxes, keeping a policy in place could make sense. Types of life insurance to reassess. Term life insurance. If you have a term policy that's nearing expiration, consider whether renewing it is worth the cost. Term policies become much more expensive as you age. Whole life or universal life insurance. These policies come with a cash value component. If you don't need the death benefit anymore, you might be able to cash out the policy or convert it into an annuity for additional retirement income. Pro tip: speak with a financial advisor before making any decisions. They can help you determine whether keeping or changing your policy is the best option for your financial goals. Step 3. Homeowners or renters insurance. Protecting your castle. Whether you own your home outright or rent, ensuring your living space is properly covered is non-negotiable. But are you overpaying for coverage you don't need, or worse, underinsured? Key areas to review. 1. Coverage limits. Is your policy based on the current replacement value of your home? Construction costs have risen, so your policy might need updating to reflect that. 2. Personal belongings. If you've downsized or decluttered recently, you may not need as much coverage for personal possessions. 3. Liability coverage. This is critical, especially as you age. If someone slips and falls on your property, liability coverage can protect you from costly lawsuits. Bundling policies. One way to save money is by bundling your home and auto insurance with the same provider. Many insurers offer discounts for combining policies. Natural disaster coverage. If you live in an area prone to natural disasters like floods, hurricanes, or earthquakes, make sure your policy covers these events. Standard homeowners insurance often doesn't include flood or earthquake coverage, so you might need an additional policy. Step 4. Auto insurance. Adjusting to your current driving habits. As we age, our driving habits often change. Maybe you're not commuting anymore, or you're driving fewer miles overall. This is a great opportunity to lower your auto insurance costs. Key questions to ask. Are you taking advantage of all available discounts? Many insurers offer discounts for seniors, safe driving records, and low mileage. Is your coverage level appropriate? If you're driving less, you might not need the same level of collision or comprehensive coverage. Can you increase your deductible? A higher deductible can lower your premiums, but only do this if you're confident you could cover the deductible in case of an accident. Consider switching to a usage-based insurance plan. These plans track your driving habits and mileage, potentially offering significant savings for low-mileage drivers. Step 5. Long-term care insurance. Planning for the what-ifs. Long-term care insurance is often overlooked, but can be a financial lifesaver. It covers the costs of care that Medicare doesn't, like assisted living facilities, nursing homes, or in-home care. If you already have a policy, review it to ensure the coverage aligns with your needs. Pay attention to benefit period. How long will the policy pay for care? Daily or monthly benefit amount. Is it enough to cover the average cost of care in your area? Inflation protection. This is crucial to ensure your benefits keep up with rising healthcare costs. If you don't have long-term care insurance, it might not be too late to get a policy. However, premiums increase significantly with age, so it's important to weigh the costs and benefits. If traditional long-term care insurance feels too expensive, explore hybrid options like life insurance policies with long-term care riders. These combine a death benefit with long-term care coverage, offering more flexibility. Step 6. Working with an insurance agent or advisor. Navigating insurance can be overwhelming, so don't hesitate to seek professional help. An independent insurance agent can compare policies from multiple providers to find the best coverage and rates for you. Additionally, a financial advisor can help you assess your overall insurance needs in the context of your broader financial plan. Optimizing your insurance policies isn't just about saving money, it's about ensuring peace of mind. When your policies are tailored to your current needs, you can rest easy knowing you're covered for whatever life throws your way. So take a day or even just an hour to review your policies. Ask questions, make adjustments, and know that every step you take is a step toward greater financial security. Segment 5. Estate Planning, Your Legacy Matters. When you hear the term estate planning, you might think it's only for the wealthy or something that can wait for later. But the truth is, estate planning is one of the most important financial moves seniors can make to secure their future and ensure their loved ones are cared for when they're no longer here. Let's explore why this is so important and how you can take charge of your legacy today. Estate planning is about more than just drafting a will. It's about making sure your wishes are carried out, avoiding unnecessary costs and stress for your family, and ensuring that your legacy reflects your values. Without proper planning, your estate could go through a lengthy and costly probate process, leaving your loved ones with emotional and financial burdens. By getting organized now, you not only protect your assets, but also provide peace of mind for yourself and your family. Step 1. Create or update your will. The cornerstone of any estate plan is your will. If you don't already have one, now is the time to create it. And if you do have a will, make sure it's up to date. What should a will include? Designation of beneficiaries. Clearly state who should receive your assets, whether it's your children, grandchildren, a charity, or a friend. Executor of your estate. This is the person who will ensure your wishes are carried out. Choose someone you trust, who is organized and capable. Specific bequests. If there are particular items, like a family heirloom, jewelry, or artwork, that you want to pass down, specify these in your will. Common oversights to avoid. Not updating your will after major life changes like a divorce, remarriage, or the birth of grandchildren. Forgetting to name backup beneficiaries or executors in case your first choice is unable to serve. Pro tip: work with an attorney who specializes in estate planning. While there are online tools available, an expert can help ensure that your will complies with your state's laws and covers all the bases. Step 2. Establish a living trust. A living trust is a powerful tool that can help your estate avoid probate, which is the court process for distributing assets after someone passes away. Probate can be time-consuming, expensive, and public. A trust, on the other hand, is private and allows for a smoother transition of assets. How does a living trust work? You transfer ownership of your assets, like your home, bank accounts, and investments, into the trust. While you're alive, you retain full control as the trustee. Upon your passing, a successor trustee distributes the assets according to your wishes, without needing court approval. Who should consider a living trust? If you own property, have significant assets, or want to simplify the process for your heirs, a living trust is worth considering. While there's an upfront cost to create one, it often pays off by avoiding probate fees and delays. Pro tip: even with a trust, you'll still need a will. Your will acts as a backup to cover any assets that weren't included in the trust. Step 3. Name beneficiaries on all accounts. Did you know that some of your assets can pass directly to your heirs without going through a will or trust? Examples of beneficiary designations: retirement accounts like IRAs and 401ks, life insurance policies, payable on death POD bank accounts, transfer on death TOD investment accounts. The importance of regular updates. Review your beneficiary designations regularly to ensure they align with your current wishes. For example, if you've had a divorce or the birth of a new grandchild, you'll want to make updates. Common mistake to avoid: failing to name a beneficiary or naming an outdated one. can cause unnecessary complications. For instance, if you leave a life insurance policy to an ex-spouse, they may legally inherit the payout, even if that's not what you intended. Step 4. Plan for long-term care and medical decisions. Estate planning isn't just about what happens after you're gone. It's also about ensuring your wishes are honored while you're still alive, especially if you become unable to make decisions for yourself. Key documents to include: 1. Power of attorney, POA. This allows someone you trust to manage your financial affairs if you're unable to. 2. Healthcare proxy or medical power of attorney. This designates someone to make medical decisions on your behalf. 3. Living will. This outlines your wishes for end-of-life care, such as whether you want to be kept on life support. Why these documents matter. Without a power of attorney or healthcare proxy, your family might have to go to court to make decisions on your behalf. This can be both emotionally and financially draining. Pro tip: have conversations with your chosen representatives about your wishes. The more they understand your preferences, the better they'll be able to advocate for you. Step 5. Review your digital legacy. In today's digital age, estate planning goes beyond physical assets. Think about all the online accounts you have: email, social media, online banking, subscriptions, and more. Steps to protect your digital legacy. Create a digital inventory. Make a list of all your online accounts, along with usernames and passwords. Designate a digital executor. Some states allow you to name someone who will handle your digital assets. Leave instructions. Specify whether you want your social media accounts deleted, memorialized, or managed in another way. Why it's important. Without access to your accounts, your loved ones may struggle to close them or retrieve important information. Step 6. Minimize estate taxes. While federal estate taxes only apply to estates worth over $12.92 million as of 2023, some states have lower thresholds. Strategies to reduce taxes. Gifting. You can give up to $17,000 per person per year as of 2023 without it counting toward your lifetime gift tax exemption. Charitable donations. Donating to a qualified charity can reduce the taxable value of your estate. Trusts. Certain types of trusts, like irrevocable life insurance trusts, ILITs, can help minimize estate taxes. Pro tip: work with a financial advisor or tax professional to explore strategies that align with your goals and minimize your estate's tax liability. Step 7. Communicate with your family. One of the most overlooked but essential aspects of estate planning is communication. Why it matters. A well-crafted estate plan can still lead to conflict if your family doesn't understand your wishes. Take the time to have open, honest conversations about your plans. Topics to discuss: who will serve as executor or trustee, how assets will be distributed, your medical and end-of-life preferences. Pro tip: consider holding a family meeting with your attorney present. This ensures everyone hears the same information and can ask questions in a supportive environment. There you have it. 5 financial moves that can secure your future and give you peace of mind. From reviewing your budget to planning your legacy, these steps aren't just about money. They're about living your best life. So now, let me ask you, which of these moves will you start with? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Advice for Wise Elders. Remember, your future isn't just something to fear. It's something to shape. Until next time, take care, stay wise, and keep thriving